Yeah, obviously, again, low-scoring game. You got to take care of the small things. They killed us in transition. We had zero fast break points in the second half, so they killed us in transition, 17-8, and they hurt us on the offensive glass. Obviously, the missed free throw box out opportunity was huge. You got to give the Lakers credit. D'Lo came in here and he took it to us. He had 20 points. And if he wasn't shooting and knocking down threes, he was getting to the rim, laying it up almost uncontested. And then, LeBron's a great player, and no matter what his age is, he definitely showed it tonight. But give the Lakers credit for doing what they need to do to win the ball game. I will say our guys did a decent job of executing in the second half, trying to spray the basketball. I thought we had a lot of wide open threes in the second half that we just couldn't make. We even had some layups at the rim that we just couldn't make. So somehow, some way, the ball has to go in for us. We got to keep trying to generate good looks for one another. But sooner or later, we're going to have to make shots, whether it's a layup or it's a wide open three.
Yeah, Mike, this sort of spiral you guys are in,
Yeah.
De'Aaron talked about trying to find their enjoyment and trying to figure out something like the joy of playing basketball. How do you help them, or how do you put them in a situation where they are moving the ball or they're finding that joy on the court that sort of helps them get over the hump in these situations?
You keep talking to them about the positives. We had a lot of positives. I mean, I'll go back and watch the film, but I'm telling you, just from my memory, thinking about the game, I'd take almost every shot that we took down the stretch. And our guys, I thought in the first half, again, we kind of were playing the same way as we did the game before. Got in the paint, AD come over, we take a tough shot, get the shot block or miss an impossible layup. But in the second half, man, we touched that paint. Even having some patience, we'd spray it, get the ball reversed, get to a different action on the backside after moving the defense, and then have a wide open shot. And those are the things we have to keep showing the guys that, hey, we're doing it. We just got to get to a point where we're making shots. And then there are times when we do things right defensively. It's going to be hard for me to do anything to get them to have fun if we miss a box out like we did after, AD misses 2 free throws. I mean, that's a downer. I don't care who you are. I don't know what I can do to get them to feel better after something like that. But the positives that we had, there were a lot of them. The ball didn't go in. There was some defensively. I mean, obviously they shot, 48%, 49% from the floor, but at times we defended the right way, and at times we kept them off the glass, We just have to find different ways to stop guys from getting layup after layup after layup at times, and we did it at times. So again, it's right in front of us. We just got to go get it. And being positive, to answer your question, on a lot of stuff, because there were some positives, is something that I can help out with.
What are some of those positives that you kind of highlight in this one, and do you feel like the late game execution falls into that at least a bit?
Well, it depends on what you say about the late game execution. Like the box out, that you can execute on both ends of the floor. We didn't execute that correctly. But again, I thought Malik had a wide open 3. I thought Keegan might have had one for sure, maybe 2 wide open 3s. I think Fox had a wide open 3. I think Domas had a layup at the rim that he missed maybe or something like that. So, man, I'd take our execution down the stretch. We generated some good looks. Our defensive execution at times was okay. The one thing that we kept telling our guys, I said, and they're shooting 27% from the 3, and there's one guy that's making the 3. it's D'Lo. And so to me, there's no way he should have gotten downhill and got 2 or 3 layups, because again, if they're going to beat us, let somebody beat us behind the 3-point line like they're doing to us. They're literally sitting in the paint and making it tough and telling our guys, hey, you guys got to step up and make shots, and we need to do the same. There's no way, like I said, that D'Lo should have gotten 2 or 3 consecutive layups to where I had to take a timeout. He was the only one making threes.
Mike, another loss in a game decided by 5 points or less. It's hard not to think back to 2 years ago in the clutch when your team was so good. Are you able to compare this year to that year? And is it as simple as, like you say, shot making, or is there something this year execution wise that is not the same as 2 years ago when you guys were so good?
No, so I would caution the shot making in the clutch. And I can go back and look at it. I'm not sure what it is, but like we sat down and got stops in the clutch 2 years ago, and before tonight, even maybe before last game, but we're 6 offensively in the clutch. And that's shooting the ball the way we're shooting it. Well, imagine if we as a team were shooting it close to 40% like we did from the 3 2 years ago. We'd probably be first in the clutch right now. But it's going to be hard to win games if you're 6th offensively in the clutch, but 21st, 22nd defensively in the clutch. We're not getting stops in the clutch, or we're not boxing out, coming up with rebounds. How many games have we lost because we couldn't box our man out and come up with a rebound? Now we're 3-10 in the clutch, and probably 4 to 5 of those games, we didn't give ourselves a chance because of the box out. And then maybe another 2 to 3 of those games, we just dribbled the ball off our foot or threw the ball out of bounds. So, even though we're not shooting the ball well, in my opinion, based on what I see, not only during the game and going back and watching it, based on the statistics to back it up, we have to do a better job of taking care of the ball. But more importantly, we got to defend and finish it with a rebound. And right now, we're not always doing that. So that would be my biggest concern going down the stretch of a tight ball game as opposed to making shots. Although I want to make shots.
Hey, Mike, not like the boxing out, especially late games and free throws, is a problem again. From your vantage point, what did you see on that last play that went wrong?
On our box out or on our out of bounds last play?
The box out, the free throw, after Anthony Davis missed the 2 free throws, and you guys didn't come up with the rebound. What went wrong there?
Well, the first thing is you could tell I was worried about the box out because I put, it's a 2-point game, and usually a 2-point game with 10 seconds left roughly. Hey, if they miss, you go. You don't take a timeout. You don't want their defense to get set. But I'm like, we got to come up with this rebound. So I'm going to put the biggest dudes we got on our team out on the floor. I had 2 timeouts. Get the rebound, take a timeout. Doesn't matter. We just got to come up with the ball. So if you look at the Lakers, they had 2 guards that were kind of hugging the 3-point line initially, right? On his first free throw, they stayed there. He missed it. Second free throw, they're there. So Trey is over there with Rui and Domas. Does that make sense? Alin's on his own with AD. Now, really, you probably should have a second guy over there with AD, right? But we're a little worried about Domas's foot, or is that, he got stepped on somebody's foot. So we said, you know what? Although Rui is 4 inches smaller than Domas, a little smaller, let's put Trey over there to pinch. Well, if there's 2 guys here and they're hugging a 3-point line, we can't afford to have one of those guys box the free throw shooter out. Does that make sense? Because if he goes to box the free throw shooter out, then this guy's got a clear run to get the offensive rebound. So I told Trey, I said, Trey, you get the shooter. if those two guys got to box out, I said, you get the shooter. So now if Trey has to get the shooter, every man's on his own, right? And the one thing, if you're on your own, you have to hit first. You have to take a step backwards into your guy. You can't step forward, because if you step forward at that point in the game, refs aren't calling no fouls. And a guy's going to get into your back and tip the ball backwards. And so at the last second, one of their guys pulled off the line. Now, at that point, our players have to read. They have to, the guy that left the free throw line, he's got to yell, "I got shooter," which will tell Trey to pinch. Does that make sense? Trey still went and got the shooter, which was okay because we don't necessarily need to pinch Rui. But Domas has to step back into Rui. And I think he stepped forward first, which allowed Rui to get into his lower back, which allowed him to reach over the top and tap it backwards. And they came up with the ball.
Mike, you won 2 challenges tonight. You didn't have one, there at the end to use on that out of bounds call. Did you get a good look at that? What was your view of that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the replay, and then our guys saw it, and it's funny. Even LeBron, because man, that's the smartest dude I've ever been around. But LeBron was laughing at the call, and my whole thing, what I said to the crew was, I said, hey, if you're in that situation, if you're 100% sure that the ball went out of bounds on us, go ahead and make the call. And the crew said they were 100% sure, no doubt about it, that it went out on us. Because my thing is, as an official, if there's any gray at all during that time, knowing we don't have a challenge, and we basically already, I think, won 2 challenges, maybe, I can't remember, and we don't have a chance to challenge, then what you do is you're like, I'm not sure, did you see it? Then that guy should be like, I'm not sure. And then you either call a jump ball, or because I don't think you can review it anymore. So then it's just got to be a jump ball. But they were 100% sure that the ball went out on us, and that's why they made the call. And so, I mean, maybe the video I saw wasn't accurate. I don't know.
Well, Coach Brown, we have to be back here in less than 24 hours, so just want to know whether anything significant or a special message that you left your squad, going into, that you said to them, for tomorrow's game.
No, hey, we got to get ready to play. That's what the NBA is about. Hey, we did some good things. We know we got to clean up some things. Bring it in. Let's go. Got to get ready for tomorrow. Simple.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.